Good evening, you two model railroader fans. I'm Ray. Welcome to the Boeville and Newtown's vlog number 16. It's July the 8th, 2016. Howdy. Okay, well, there was a couple things that I was actually thinking about doing tonight, but because of the fact that we've got some family members coming in from over across the pond tomorrow evening, I'm going to forgo getting into any of the projects that I was going to get into. I was going to start actually on the BL2 GP9 mashup, and as you can tell, I've kind of already taken. Of course, that just slides off, but I'll just slide it back on so I don't lose it. Not that it's going to matter, because number 749 will no longer be the same. How the heck did that go back in there? Oh, I say. Okay, it just snaps in there, apparently. Somehow. Wonder if I'll get it backwards. Which wouldn't be surprising. I like to do things backwards. It's more fun that way. Or maybe not. Maybe I had it on there right to begin with. I'm not 100% sure. For whatever reason, this thing is not going... Oh, there it goes. Got one side. Oh, there goes the other side. Okay, cool. Sorry. So anyway, like I said, we've got some family members coming in from across the pond, coming in from Germany tomorrow night. So they'll be over here for a few weeks, actually closer to a month. We're going to be doing a bunch of different things with them. So I may be off the grid, so to speak, for a little bit. I was down here messing around the other night because I came to the realization after I went ahead and put up the latest track plan, number 28. Wonderful plan, it'll work out great. Couple things that I came across. One was, if I go ahead and I do the modular system like I want to do, obviously this basement floor is not perfectly flat, which it shouldn't be. And considering the fact that the shelf that's over here to my left, the display shelf, is about 36.5 inches, give or take 1/8 of an inch on either end, because of the fact that from in front of me, which is where the water heater and the furnace sit, pardon me, going over towards the sump pump on the other side of the room, the floor is this way. So the high spot will be over here on the other side of where the iPad's sitting right now. So what I'm going to do, that's better. Get rid of the frog in my throat. Wah, 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 wah. It's been one of those weeks again. Anywho, so what I'm going to have to do, and I've been tossing some ideas around in my head and off of one of my buddies at work, and I've got a plan on how I'm going to build the bench work. Basically, the way it'll be is it'll be on casters like the swing bridge is. I've gotten away from the folding leg idea. It's not a good idea, regardless. So what I'm going to do is all the parts that move will be on casters, and what I'm going to do is when I build them, I'm going to build the sections or build those pieces of bench work. Like I said, I'm going to build them and using the L-girder, because of the fact that to me it's just so easy to modify, move, you know, whatever you have to do to it. So I'm going to put the L-girders in, and then I'm going to make them probably all about 36 inches, because I think that's about the lowest, the shortest distance that I'm going to have from where the top of the platform would be down to the floor, with the casters obviously included in that. So what I'm going to do to make sure that it's at that 36 or 36 and a half by the time it gets over here, is I'm actually going to shim. That's the word I've been looking for. I'm going to shim the tabletop, as it were, because I'm probably going to do a mixture. It'll probably be some tabletop and some cookie cutter on top of the L-girder. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to shim it so that it's at 36 and a half all the way around the room. And of course, when I get behind me here to like the bench and over by the sump pump, I'm probably going to be probably closer to 37 inches. Here again, it's not an issue. You know, just get some 1-inch board and stuff up underneath of there to get the heights right. So it shouldn't be a problem. That's what I'm going to look at doing eventually. I didn't want to do all that now, not with company coming over. So it'll wait. That's one thing. The other thing of it is I still have to figure out what my daughter's doing for school. So. But anyway, I came to the realization, getting back to where I started, and before I went off on a tangent, I was thinking about this thing the other night, going, you know what? I know I'm not going to be able to do anything with this thing in reality probably for another 2 to 3 years, at minimal. I'm thinking. I might get lucky. I might be able to start doing some things maybe next year or something like that, but ultimate reality is right now, I'm probably not going to be able to rip this thing apart and start redoing it anytime soon. So, I started going through my box of track, which I've got a whole container down here of 22-inch radius corners, 18-inch radius corners, snap switches, number 6 switches, number 4s, crossings, the whole 9 yards, trying to think, you know, maybe in the short term, what I could do, since I want to make a quote-unquote point-to-point railroad down here, was, hey, you know, do like I was talking about doing when I had this thing in the 13-foot by 11-foot room, and just build a storage yard. Well, let's just put it this way. Everything I tried the other night to go ahead and get a south and a north storage yard down here wasn't working out coming off of because I don't have I have some crossing, I just don't have the right crossings. So I was like, well, that kind of sucks, but alright, well, maybe I can figure something else out. So I came up with, I was playing around with just track arrangements off of what's down here, and I had something that looked like it could work. The biggest issue is the fact that I just didn't have any more crossings, and I think I need like 30 degree, and I need a couple of oddballs too. But so I was like, well, do I really want to go ahead and actually shell out the the bucks that it's going to take to get the right degree crossings and really dig into this right now? No, not right now with company coming again. So I pulled all that stuff back up and put it back in the box, put the box back up underneath the layout. So, I don't have my storage yard, because I think that would be kind of neat if I could go ahead and snake that thing around in here someplace, and that way if I really wanted to run point to point, I could, and I could get away from the quasi staging yard underneath a Wykert Hill, which would be kind of nice, because then I could just run trains and I wouldn't have to worry about what's stopped up underneath it, or what cycle am I on, and so on and so, because I had started car cards down here, and which was great. I've got switch lists, but I haven't started playing with the waybills, because guess what? Everything goes in and out of Boeville Yard. It's, no matter what, it's either in the yard or it's on a train. So I just haven't come up with I haven't played with that to any extent yet. Obviously I've looked at it for when I expand, which would be real simple, but for what's out here right now, it's not, it would be really simple. It's like 2 cycles. What's the point of wasting the paper? It doesn't make any sense. So I just have a schedule up on one of the pillars over here, and I just go into the yard and go, okay, I need to make up this train, and this train I know is going over here, so I know I need these cars to get there, and then I can just throw whatever else on there that I want to, and there's my train. So, again, it is what it is. So, but like I said, that's kind of where I'm at for the moment. Like I said, I was hoping to get in, start digging into this thing, and I just have not had the time to deal with any of it, to be honest. I know I had started the roundhouse project and actually screwed that up when we had the blizzard back in January, so I've scrapped that. Not thinking about it, just wanted to get it done. I screwed it up, so that's off the table. You know, I want to get down here and paint the inside of these buildings. I've got the dark paint to do it. Again, you know, yeah, I could get down here and do it now, but it's like, no. I can come down here and run drains. So, speaking of which, I think that's how we're going to end this video tonight. So, let's go ahead. I'm going to stop the video here for a little bit, and let's go ahead and swing on over to the layout and get some run time in. I've got a derailment that I have to deal with. Somehow or other, the Orient Express has jumped the track. So I've got to go ahead and figure out where it's at and fix that. Alright, YouTube auto railers, you all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch you next time. Be safe out there.